The world's number 2 spot is up for grabs in the desert as punishing Pole Iga Swiatek squares off against Greek Freak Maria Sakkari for the Indian Wells title. Will Iga win back-to-back 1000 titles, or can Sakkari exercise her demons to claim that long-awaited big title? I'll break down and preview this match before predicting who I think will raise that heavy tail trophy here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today. Looking at the head-to-head between these two women, Sakkari leads it 3-1, but Swiatek did win their last meeting a month ago in the Dubai semifinals. Prior to that, Iga had never even won a set over Maria in their last 3 meetings. Both women have been playing phenomenally in 2022, but Iga's been slightly better, making the last 4 in nearly every tournament she plays. She surely won't be shy of confidence coming into this match, but Sakkari can take solace in the fact that she'll likely be the fresher of the two, being on court about 2.5 hours less than the 3rd seed. Now, Swiatek's path to the final wasn't an easy one at all. After upending Kalinina in the opening round, she did the same to talented Dane Clara Towson, recovering from a slower start before steamrolling to a 6-7, 6-2, 6-1 win. For the 3rd match in a row, Swiatek had to come back from behind, besting Angie Kerber for a 6, 6-2, 6-3. Her quarterfinal match was much more straightforward, as Iga absolutely dismantled Madison Keys 6-1, 6-love. Then last night, she claimed another straight set victory, beating a testy Simona Halep 7-6, 6-4. I've been very impressed with Swiatek all week, and I think this is the tournament where I've officially become a fan of hers. First, talking about her game, she's continued to ramp up the aggression and hasn't really shown much hesitation. She's been very proactive, often charging forward to take the net as soon as she senses an opening. And while she's been dictating, she's also done well to maintain consistency, frequently putting power players like Keys on the defensive while being able to use her superb athleticism to defend well herself. The main thing that's impressed me about Swiatek though is how she's been carrying herself. She looks like a champion and the next big star ready to win these big titles. I especially saw this in the matches where she struggled more, like Kerber, Towson, or Halep. There she didn't really panic as we've been accustomed to seeing in the past. Instead, she kept her head down and trusted her game, and I love to see that. Meanwhile, Maria's road to the final has been pretty impressive itself. After advancing past the tricky Katerina Siniakova in straights, Sakkari absolutely clobbered another Czech woman, Petra Kvitova, 6-3, 6-love. The Greek woman did get a mid-match walkover against Gavrilova in the round of 16 before besting Elena Rybakina 7-5, 6-4. Then in the semi, she took out defending champ Paula Badosa 6-2, 4-6, 6-1. The conditions here in Indian Wells suit Maria's game really well. The slower courts allow Sakkari ample time to construct points in her favor, stripping court positioning away from her opponents. Despite the slower conditions though, she's been absolutely clobbering the ball, zipping it through those gritty courts. Sakkari's overwhelmed her opponents much of the time, hitting with incredible depth to control all the baseline exchanges. She's been unable to do this with superb serving, which always bodes well for the 6th seed. Like with Iga, the main thing that's impressed me with Maria is her attitude and demeanor on court. She looks like she's truly been enjoying herself and looks a lot less tense. This is a big reason why she was able to close so strongly against Badosa last night. Looking at the keys to the match, first starting with Swiatek, she needs to make sure that she continues timing the ball well. When the pole's on, her timing is phenomenal, being able to pull off shots like this. However, looking at those periods where she struggled more, like versus Halep, timing was an issue, leading to more errors. The pole needs to make sure that she continues to play within herself and not rush her shots on easy approaches. The next point I have for Iga is to continue changing up the tempo against Sakkari during those baseline exchanges. In Doha, Swiatek made a conscious effort to bail out of those cross-court flows and go down the line more, especially with her forehand at nearly any possible opening. In the matches prior to that, Sakkari was more gutsy and edgy, not being afraid to go up the line to gain the upper hand. I think Swiatek knows now that she needs to do this as well. Moreover, I think Swiatek needs to attack the second serve more, like she did in Doha and how she did to Halep last round. At Guadalajara, the higher elevation made Sakkari's kick serve extremely difficult to attack. However, at Doha, Swiatek made sure that she got on top of that kicker to put pressure on the Greek woman, which made all the difference. At the WTA Finals, Iga managed to win just 33% of Sakkari's second serve points. This number rose to 56% at Qatar. I think opponents like Badosa, for example, have not been able to apply as much pressure on Maria's serve for this very reason. The fourth and final point I have for the poll is to keep looking for opportunities to be aggressive with the forehand. Last month, she did an excellent job of setting herself up to dictate with that wing and go after that Sakkari backhand. Swiatek's backhand is a big weapon in itself, but the forehand has been the breadwinner this fortnight. For Sakkari to be successful, she needs to make sure that she doesn't grant Swiatek a lot of freebies in this match. It's about making her play and applying the pressure, which the erratic Madison Keys did not do at all. Iga said her match against Halep was the toughest this tournament, as the Romanian tested her far more than previous opponents. Halep made her play a lot more balls, as did Kerber, so of course with her more aggressive game style, there's going to be more ebbs and flows. I think Sakkari's steady enough to where she can take advantage of a weaker period from the Polish woman. Now, Maria had lapses herself against Badosa in that second set, so she needs to be cognizant and make sure that it doesn't happen often here. Next, I want Sakkari to remain solid on return. This has been a strong suit in her game, especially this week, making life a living hell for her opponents on serve. Like Iga, Maria has been taking advantage of weaker serving by opponents like Badosa, so the Greek woman needs to look to attack the second serve. On the flip side, Sakkari's serve needs to be on this final. Against Iga in Doha, Sakkari struggled to win points off her first serve, winning just 55% of points. There, she didn't serve as strong on the first serve and didn't really hit her spots that well. Meanwhile, in Paris, Maria dominated whenever getting the first serve in, claiming 83% of points. Sakkari's serve was truly the outlier in the Roland Garros encounter last year. Swiatek played very well herself this match, but Maria was able to hit her spots on serve and dictate more afterward, which was why she was able to hit 9 more winners than the pole then. It's been the same story this week, as Sakkari was always at her best whenever she hit her spots, getting opponents all out of position. The last point is definitely more explanatory, and it's the same as Swiatek's last point, which is that Sakkari should keep looking for her favorite shot, that forehand. She needs to have aggressive intent when looking to strike as well, because against Badosa, she struggled a bit more when she didn't step in and rip that shot. I feel like we're in store for a really good match, solely looking at history alone. All of their matches, except for Guadalajara, have been very close despite the straight set scorelines. There were many momentum shifts and trade of breaks, and the matches could have really gone either way. Previously, Sakkari, sticking with her aggressive game style, made the difference at the end, but in Doha, Swiatek was the one who recovered from the early deficits to claw her way to victory. I think Iga is going to be the overwhelming favorite here, despite trailing the head-to-head. I think a big reason for this is the stage itself, being the finals of Indian Wells. Both women are notorious for their respective levels and finals. Iga is basically Superwoman because whenever she's reached the championship stage as an A6 player, it's been brutal for opponents. In her last 4 finals, Swiatek hasn't dropped more than 5 games, and that's including 2 1000s and a slam. Meanwhile, Sakkari has struggled immensely at the latter stages of tournaments, often missing the final stage altogether. Sakkari, in my eyes, should have won 2 slams last year, but her semi-final struggles got the best of her. Prior to the Badosa match, she was 4-15 in tour semifinals. I think this is a big step for her, getting the monkey off her back at such a prestigious tournament and even making the finals. Maybe that's a sign that she's ready to become the champion we all know she can be. I think Maria has a really good shot of getting her second and biggest tour title, as I think that she has a perfect blend of power and stability the Pole's opponents have lacked. Swiatek does have a lot of confidence though, currently riding a 10-match win streak. She knows how to win, especially in the bigger moments. This obviously gives her an edge, but it can also be an Achilles heel should things go deep, as she's tracked up a lot of mileage the past few months. I was very close to picking Maria to take the title because I think she is ready for that big breakthrough. However, I also think Swiatek has that champion's mentality ingrained within her, which I think will get her through in the tight moments. Thus, I have her taking this match in 3 sets. That's all for this video, and let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree with me having Swiatek claim the title. Also, make sure you subscribe and click the notification bell so you're notified whenever I post a recap to this match and the men's final preview. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time here on Grand Slam Tennis News Today.